What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to another exciting episode of Ask Dr. O with me. You already know. Okay, like I said last week, I'm not going to say Dr. again because it's already in Ask Dr. O. Okay, random fact. Anyways, so today we're discussing something very important, something very interesting. Okay, and like I said, all my topics are inspired by questions I get in my DM, so please keep the questions coming. I actually love enjoying your questions. Okay, the question we're answering is, can I prevent pregnancy without using contraception? Can you actually prevent yourself from getting pregnant if you're not using any method of contraception? Well, some of you may already know the answer. The answer is actually yes. Yes, you can prevent pregnancy, but how effective is it, and what are your options? Okay, so that's what we're going to be discussing today in just a few seconds. Can you prevent pregnancy without using contraception? Like I said earlier, the answer is yes. Now you can do this using two natural forms of birth control. The first is called the withdrawal method, and I have a whole video where I talked about that. Look out for that in my playlist. And the other is called the calendar method. I also have a whole video where I explain that in detail. It's also in my playlist. It's just that when I was explaining it more from the angle of women trying to conceive, so they know when to try harder for a baby. But in your own case, if you are trying not to get pregnant, then you know when to try less so that you don't get pregnant, if you know what I mean. So basically, those are the two methods of birth control that you can use if you don't want to use any form of contraception. Okay, you can choose to use the withdrawal method, or you can choose to use the calendar method, and I have videos explaining how they work, but I'm just going to give you a brief overview right here. What is the withdrawal method? This is when the male partner interrupts intercourse or withdraws his private parts from inside of his partner at the point where he is about to ejaculate. And if you watch my video, I already explained that this requires a lot of self-control, it requires a lot of self-discipline, and it requires a lot of mastery of your body and your sexual organ, because some men don't even know when they're about to ejaculate. Some do, but they can't control themselves, they can't stop themselves, right? This method requires a lot of self-control and self-discipline, and it has a high risk of failure, right? This is because a lot of people don't use it well. If used properly, 78% chance of preventing pregnancy, but then you have to use it properly to even get that 78%, so you can see it's far from 100. Now, if you don't use it properly, then there's a high risk of failure. There's a high chance that if you have intercourse during your fertile window using withdrawal method and you don't do it well, you're going to get pregnant. Now, the other method is the calendar method. That's the method by which you use your calendar to determine which dates is safe to have intercourse, so which period is your fertile window and which period is your is outside of your fertile window. So for you trying to prevent pregnancy, you want to make sure you don't have intercourse during your fertile window, because if you do, chances of getting pregnant are higher. Now, your fertile window is the period few days before your ovulation to 24 hours after, about 5 days before your ovulation up till 24 hours after you have ovulated. This is your fertile window. This is because during this period you have a high chance of getting pregnancy. Okay, it does not mean ovulation is a 1 week long event or it's happening for 7 days. No, it's just because when a man ejaculates sperm and the sperm swims up into the womb, it can actually survive there for up to 5 days, right? So even if he didn't ejaculate on the day that he was going to ovulate, the sperm can still survive there, waiting patiently for the egg, and then when the egg comes, it will fertilize the egg. So that's why we call it a window, not a particular day. We use a window, right? So calendar method is what you use to avoid this window. So during this window, you don't have any form of intercourse if you want to prevent pregnancy. So if you want to know more about the calendar method and you want to know more about the withdrawal method, I'm going to link the videos down below. Be sure to watch them. So for those men that always send me questions and saying that their wives don't like regular methods of contraception, you can try this, but beware, do this at your own risk. These methods are not 100% effective. In fact, they are way less effective than the other methods of contraception. If you enjoyed watching this video so far, don't forget to click the like button down below, subscribe and share with anyone you think might need to see this. Like I always say, a healthy you is a happy you. See you next time.